This is Montesino Law.
Montesino Law, yes, y'all. Armando Montesino, do it like a boss.
Welcome to our fourth episode. Many of us have someone who is like a mother or father to them, but was not biologically or legally their parent. Today's episode will use The Mandalorian and other popular shows and movies to illustrate how employees can use FMLA, the Family and Medical Leave Act, to take up to 12 weeks of job-protected leave so they can take care of a person that was like a parent to them if that person gets sick. Conversely, if you are like a parent for a child, then you can take FMLA leave to take care of that child. Some of you may be super fans of some of the shows and movies that we're going to cover. Some of you may have an encyclopedic knowledge of those shows and movies. I am almost certain that I will get some of the facts regarding these characters wrong. If I do, please let me know in the comments and I will let you know if it changes my analysis of whether or not they qualify for FMLA. On the other hand, some of you may not have seen these shows or movies and don't want spoilers. These are the movies that are going to be covered. Do not watch this video or have your finger ready on the pause button if you need to avoid spoilers for any of these. Now, bear with me. I need to be boring for a bit. More boring than usual. FMLA allows you to take leave in order to take care of a family member. A family member, for the purpose of FMLA, is defined as a child, spouse, or parent. It does not include grandparents, aunts, or uncles, although these are often some of our most beloved relatives. The spousal relationship is pretty straightforward and will not be covered in this video. However, the parent-child relationship can get really interesting. Note that these definitions of parent and son or daughter are the inverse of each other. Also, if the parent-child relationship is biological, adoptive, foster, or step, then the parent-child relationship qualifies for FMLA leave without further inquiry because those relationships are explicitly included as qualifying. A sick, deadbeat parent, like let's say Darth Vader, would qualify an employee for FMLA leave because biological parents are explicitly included. Additionally, a sick, evil stepmother would qualify an employee for FMLA leave because step-parents are also explicitly included. Now, let's go back to the definitions. Do you see those words in bold, in Loco Parentis? It is that term, in Loco Parentis, that allows you to take time off to take care of someone that was like a parent to you or that you are like a parent to. In Loco Parentis means in the place of a parent. No legal relationship is required for in Loco Parentis status. How do we determine if a person stands in Loco Parentis? This is a bit of an oversimplification, but we look at two factors. Did the person have responsibility for the day-to-day care of the child, and did the person provide financial support for the child? Again, this is a bit of an oversimplification, but you can meet the definition if at least one of the two factors is met. Now, let's start looking at our examples. In each of the scenarios, I will only discuss whether or not the parent figure is entitled to leave. If the parent figure qualifies for FMLA leave, then the child figure will likely also qualify if he ever needs to take care of the sick parent. There is no need to analyze both in this video. We don't use clickbait on this channel, and I know many of you are here because of The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, so we're going to start with that. For the Baby Yoda example and all of our others, we will be treating any humanoid characters as human. We will also be assuming that US law applies even if the shows or movies have the characters living outside the US. Now, can the Mandalorian take FMLA leave to take care of Baby Yoda? Did the Mandalorian stand in Loco Parentis? Well, first, let's look at whether or not he had responsibility for the day-to-day care of Baby Yoda? The answer is yes. We can see throughout the show that he was taking care of him. And did the Mandalorian provide financial support for Baby Yoda? The answer to that is also yes. We can see that he spends his space currency or Beskar plates or whatever that was to provide for Baby Yoda's needs, such as his little broth. So both factors appear to be met. The one problem that I see is that Baby Yoda is actually 50 years old. So given his inability to take care of himself, he could arguably qualify as an eligible child because he is incapable of self-care because of a mental or physical disability. The real question is whether Baby Yoda has a disability, since he is at a normal stage of development for his species. Therefore, the answer is maybe. Arguments can be made that the Mandalorian qualifies for 12 weeks of job-protected leave to take care of Baby Yoda, but it isn't clear-cut. Now, we all love Baby Yoda, so how can we get rid of the uncertainty with regards to the Mandalorian status as the parent of Baby Yoda? Some states, such as Florida, allow for the adoption of adults. If the Mandalorian legally adopts Baby Yoda, we don't have to deal with the uncertainty about whether or not he stands in Loco Parentis. An adoptive parent is always considered a parent for the purposes of FMLA. Now, we won't go into whether or not the Bounty Hunters Guild counts as an employer for the purposes of FMLA, because that could be a video by itself. Now, in keeping with that Star Wars theme, could Owen and Beru Lars have taken FMLA leave to take care of Luke Skywalker? This suggestion comes from my cousin Sergio. The answer is yes. Wikipedia tells me that Owen and Beru adopted Luke. Therefore, we don't have to determine in Loco Parentis status. Could Vernon and Petunia Dursley have taken FMLA leave to take care of Harry Potter? This suggestion comes from my friend and colleague Brittany. Although they were very mean to him, the Dursleys did provide financial support to Harry, even if they did make him sleep in the cupboard under the stairs, while Dudley had 2 bedrooms. So, the Dursleys did stand in Loco Parentis and would be eligible for FMLA leave. Could Uncle Ben or Aunt May have taken FMLA leave to take care of Peter Parker? This suggestion also comes from Brittany. The answer is also yes, because they adopted Peter. Even in the absence of adoption, they would qualify because they stood in Loco Parentis by providing both day-to-day care and financial support. Could Splinter have taken FMLA leave to take care of the Ninja Turtles? This suggestion comes from Miami patent attorney Rob Weaver. Splinter was responsible for the day-to-day care of the turtles and provided for them financially. He stood in Loco Parentis and therefore is entitled to FMLA leave. Now, we have something for the Dragon Ball fans. Could Grandpa Gohan have taken FMLA leave to take care of Goku? This suggestion comes from Sasha Ganji. The answer is yes, because Grandpa Gohan adopted Goku. Now let's turn to Full House. Could Uncles Joey and Jesse have taken FMLA leave to take care of DJ, Stephanie, or Michelle Tanner? Did uncles have responsibility for the day-to-day care of the girls? Yes. Did the uncles provide financial support for the girls? Although Joey did buy DJ a car for her 16th birthday, I'm not aware of the uncles providing financial support for the girls. However, you only need to satisfy one of the 2 factors. The uncles both qualify for FMLA leave because they had responsibility for the day-to-day care of the girls. Could Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air have taken FMLA leave to take care of Will? The answer is yes. Uncle Phil both had responsibility for Will's day-to-day care and provided financial support for Will. Could Philip Drummond from Diff'rent Strokes have taken FMLA leave to take care of Arnold or Willis? Did he have responsibility for their day-to-day care? Yes. Did he provide financial support? Yes, he provided amazing financial support. So he would have stood in Loco Parentis and therefore qualified. I'm not exactly sure, but I do think that at some point he adopted Arnold and Willis, so we might not have even had to make that analysis. Could Henry have taken FMLA leave to take care of Punky Brewster? This question comes as a suggestion from my amazing wife. Punky Brewster was her favorite show when she was a child. My childhood friend Carlos and my buddy Jose also suggested that I cover Punky Brewster. It was actually the most popular suggestion of everybody that I reached out to. Henry Warnemont was Punky Brewster's foster parent and therefore qualifies without the in loco parentis analysis. Let's move to who's the boss. This is an interesting one with two questions. Was Tony in loco parentis to Angela's son Jonathan? Obviously, the issue of FMLA, it's a bit of a tongue twister, leave would only come up if Tony was no longer Angela's housekeeper. Even then, I'd have to say no, because Tony was paid to look after Jonathan, and even if he did take care of him, it wasn't a parent-type relationship. Was Angela in loco parentis to Samantha? I don't remember her taking care of Samantha. The whole premise of the show was that Tony was taking care of the domestic duties. Also, to the extent that Angela provided financially for Sam, it was by paying Tony for the work he did as a housekeeper. I'm going to have to say no here as well. Next up is Batman. The relationship between Bruce Wayne and Alfred is an interesting one to analyze. However, the issue of FMLA would likely never come up because Alfred works for Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne is a wealthy, self-employed individual who would never have to take FMLA leave. However, the relationship, would it qualify? I would have to say yes, because Alfred was the legal guardian of Bruce Wayne when he was a minor. Therefore, we don't have to deal with the in loco parentis analysis. Now let's look at Rick and Morty. Would Rick be eligible to take FMLA leave to take care of Morty? Now, remember, grandparents aren't part of the family members listed in the regulation, so we have to determine if Rick stood in loco parentis to Morty. I'm hesitant to say yes. He is responsible for the day-to-day care of Morty. The fact that he does an absolutely horrible job of taking care of him is not relevant. So yes, Rick would qualify for FMLA leave because he stands in loco parentis. That being said, Child Protective Services should step in and save that poor kid. Would Gru from Despicable Me be eligible to take FMLA leave to take care of Margot, Edith, or Agnes? Yes, the movie shows that he adopted them from an orphanage. If there was an adoption, you don't have to determine if they stood in loco parentis. Would Odin be eligible to take FMLA leave to take care of Loki? It's my understanding, based on a fandom wiki, that Odin adopted Loki. That would qualify him. Even if he didn't adopt him, he almost certainly was responsible for his day-to-day care and provided financially. Could Sandra Bullock's character from The Blind Side have taken FMLA leave to take care of Big Mike? Yes, she adopted him. And last but not least, a little something for the Game of Thrones fans. The Baratheon children from Game of Thrones present an interesting question. Again, pause now if you haven't seen the show and don't want spoilers. Robert Baratheon surely qualifies for FMLA leave to take care of his kids for several reasons. Although he wasn't the biological father, in many states, such as Florida, a woman's husband is legally presumed to be the father unless a court determines otherwise. Therefore, even though he wasn't the biological father of his kids, he legally was their biological father. Additionally, he would surely have satisfied the in loco parentis requirements of day-to-day care and or financial support. Thank you for watching. If there are any characters that you would like to see covered, please comment below and I will do my best to analyze their eligibility for FMLA leave. If you are enjoying our channel and would like to show some support, please hit the subscribe button below. We really appreciate that. We look forward to bringing you another video next week.